education to unlock new economic opportunities. With a strong foundation in blockchain, decentralized finance, is it DeFi, right? Yeah. And why do I call it DeFi? I don't know. It's DeFi. Hey, I'm right. All right. And real-world asset tokenization. He is building bridges between finance, culture, and energizing markets. Maybe all these things I'm saying, you're not really understanding it like that. But when he comes up and he speaks, I'm sure you understand. Yeah. He has led initiatives with Ethereum Nigeria, Filecoin Nigeria, Toronet, Solana East Africa, HAQQ, ISLM, driving adoption, financial literacy, and decentralized infrastructure across Africa and beyond. As a DevRel manager and ecosystem builder, Emmanuel empowers creators, entrepreneurs, and developers to access decentralized tools that reshape both cultural and financial landscape. Beyond technology, Emmanuel is passionate about financial education, youth empowerment, and democratizing. Sorry, English is not my. It's actually my. It's my first tongue, but okay. Democratizing access to capital. He designed programs and content that position blockchain not just as a tool for innovation, but as a driver of culture and economic transformation. He is also an emerging author and speaker. His work includes Friends on a Ship. He is a storyteller, education and community builder. With a very loud round of applause, let's make welcome Emmanuel Tope.
Thank you very much. How are we doing today? Please, I love feedbacks. How are we doing today? Okay, can we please give ourselves a round of applause? Can we also give the organizers of this event a round of applause? Come on. They did a great job. Okay, so my name is Emmanuel Tope. A lot has been said about me in the bio. And, it's quite an emotional one for me because I remember 4 years ago on this same altar like this, I came to pray 4 years ago, 2021. And I was in a very dark phase. I was standing here. I can still remember, right? And I was parrying for God. Like, come on, I'm doing my best. Like, come on, look at me, see me now. And the story has changed. Can you please celebrate God for that? Let me give him all the credit first. Okay, so I'm to share my story. Quick one. My name is Emmanuel Tope. I studied civil engineering. I'm a civil engineer by training. And I studied at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, FUNAB. I studied civil engineering for about 7 years, 2013 to 2020. Pre-degree, beginning of 2013. I gained admission 2013, ending. And we left school 2020. Strikes, internal strike, external strikes affected us. And if there's anything I've learned is that literacy is different from education. Being illiterate does not mean you're educated. You can be an educated illiterate. Solid, I promise you. When I left school, I wouldn't say I had a rude shock because I was prepared. I've always been a reformer all my life. What do I mean? I was born to parents who are both teachers, and there's an humble beginning. Teachers, they don't do more than themselves. My university pay was cooperative all through. My father was collecting cooperative to send me to school. So, but I remember from my childhood, I never used to accept the norm. What do I mean? I always questioned my dad and mom. Why don't we have these things in the house? Why am I not wearing? Why is it only December that we are buying Christmas clothes? I hate the concept of Christmas clothes. I don't have Christmas clothes. If I buy a clothes today, I'm wearing it tomorrow, Sunday. I hate the concept. It's such a poverty for me. It's a restricting mindset to say there's a day that is special. Every day is special to me. right? So I've always been like that, and my mother, I stressed that woman so much. I stressed my mother a lot. But that mindset to push the status quo has always been there. So, Mr. Esley was talking about not being able to read, right? My story was a different one. As at nursery 2, I could read primary 4 books, primary 5 books, because I had a father who, taught me how to read. I remember my first memory of my father was reading. My first memory of my dad, and this is to every man here listening, young man, not our daddies, that children will do what you see, not what you say. So he just inculcated the habits of reading for me, and I think it shaped my mindset. It shaped how I viewed life, how I question life. So yes, I've always been having questions all my life. Even till now, standing this morning, I still have questions. Right? And I wanted to do something like a consensus, but I'm going to do that later. I've always asked questions. I am still asking questions. And one day, I thought to myself, maybe I'm a doubtful person. But then, God told me that we advance by asking questions. Let me just go biblical a little bit. God said, come, let us reason together. He is the all-knowing God. But he's saying that you don't have all the knowledge, to come, let's reason together. So God wants us to ask questions. Our society don't want us to ask questions. Education does not want us to ask questions. Go to school, be an engineer, do the structural whatever. I remember one of my mother's prayers when we were young was, when I was studying engineering, she was like, she would say it in Yoruba that God will make them give my son a contract. That was their mindset. Yes, and looking back, it was not fair on them. I lost my father last year, and it was a very painful season. But what I learned from him was that he was more talented than he actually expressed himself. So what then was the inhibitor? I discovered that our educational system in Nigeria inhibits expressions of abilities. So an average African is trained to go to school, trained to be a worker, but not trained to be a dreamer. An average African is not trained to be a reformer. An average African is not trained to ask questions. In fact, the white people said that you want to hide something from an African man, put it in a what? Such a sad narrative. So I made a decision that I will read. I am going to read. I'm going to read. I am going to read. I'm starting another degree very soon. I will read. I will stand in front of the most powerful people in the world. I will not feel inferior. They will be seeing me and saying, it is a privilege to meet you. That's the kind of mindset I grew up with, right? So, obviously, while growing up, I was not earning. And that means that my realities, my expression is subject to the people who are like my guardians, my parents. Meaning, I couldn't have gone to a private university if they don't have the money for a private university, no matter how I wanted to fight them. They wouldn't do beyond what they can do. So I came to the terms that, okay, I'm in a simulation. This is my current reality. This is my current boundary. And that should be a question, that should be a reality, or that should be an awakening for anybody sitting in this room. Entrepreneur, business person, professional. This is where I am. These are the boundaries of my expressions. I can't get an international job now because I don't yet have an international skill. It's not a bad thing. It is coming to terms with my limitations, then using that stumbling block as your stepping block. That's where many of us are stuck, myself inclusive. Right? This year, last year, my God, I've had a lot of rejection emails because I'm a Nigerian. So I'm thinking of getting a dual passport. How do you get that? You become very valuable. You get a global talent visa. How do you become very valuable? You show up. You do the work. A lot of jobs that I've lost because I am from Nigeria. This year, 2 jobs because I am a Nigerian. International jobs, I'm not talking about $2K, $3K job. Right? So, I'm trying to say that we as Africans already have a limitation. If you're an African in this room, I'm not trying to preach limitation to you, but like I said, you acknowledge your simulation. This is where I am now. Then we build from where we are. If you're in Africa, life already beats you like about 10-0. Why? To build a business, you need constant electricity. Even God, when he wanted to create the world, he said, let there be what? There was first light, oh. And you're living in an ecosystem that there's no light. Why do you think Microsoft left Nigeria? Microsoft left Nigeria to Ghana because Ghana has electricity, a lot, and we don't have. I used to know their office. Their office is in Lekki. There's this tall building with blue, what do you call it? It's blue glass or whatever. That's where Microsoft's office headquarters used to be. They were spending a lot on fuel. They were spending a lot on a lot of resources. They were spending a lot on office spaces, and they calculated it with their revenues. And they said, why not move to Ghana, which is close? So any of their talents that is in Nigeria, and just take a bus or take a flight to Ghana, come and live in Ghana. Do you understand? So being a Nigerian, you already have some limitations. And what that means is that if you are going to go above the limitation, you are going to do extra work. So if it takes 10% to get a result for an American, it might take 1,000% to get a job done in Nigeria. That same job with the same results. So I've always known all these things, not like know in full scale, but I've always had questions, right? So I remember as a 200 level, I almost quit civil engineering because I was like, what is all this? What are we doing? I remember I'll be saying it in the class that I really don't think I'm going to use this civil engineering. But I'm glad I went through that phase because it helped structure my mind. One of the things that being educated, not literate, one of the things that education does to you is that it structures your mind. It gives your mind a structure. So such that the way I will view a thing is not the same way a doctor will view a thing. It's not the same way an accountant will view a thing. Now, she's an accountant. The way she will talk about money is not the way I, as an engineer, will talk about money. It's not the way somebody who is a tech person will talk about money. But yet, we are talking about the same subject. What made us different is education. We are educated differently. So therefore, we see differently. Our perspective is different. So, I finished secondary school. I did my GC at SS2. I already passed it, but my father just believed that it's good to have WAEC. So I didn't go to university. I stayed to do SS3. Did JAMB. I think I scored about 197, and I wanted to study civil engineering, so it's not possible. I had to go for pre-degree and, get into the university, got my course. But like I said, at 200 level, I'd started questioning life, right? It was not an existential crisis, but I just had questions. Always have questions. So I started reading a lot of books, which I'm going to tell everybody to do. Please read books. Read books. Read a lot of books. But while reading books, don't forget that the reality of the writer is different from your reality. So now, if you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad might not work for you here in the real estate industry. Rich Dad, Poor Dad says you should go to the bank, buy a building, flip it, then pay back. Now, in Nigeria, to loan money from the bank, which collateral do you have? So if you are reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad to make a decision on real estate and making it in real estate, you are making a mistake because the methods are now different. So when you read books, I read a lot of books, but I bring it to the reality now. So this is Africa. How can this thing work? I remember somebody doing an MBA in the US, and the lady raised her hand and asked the professor a question that, so sir, how can a business like this thrive in a society where there's no electricity, no good road, and no security? The professor asked back that, is there any country like that? Professor does not believe that there's a society that there's no electricity. Hey, God. That professor is going to write a book, and we are going to read it, and you want to practice it here. Recently, Otedola was being dragged on Twitter because he wrote a book. And they were doing Nepo kids versus Lapo kids. So Nepo kid means nepotism kids versus Lapo. How many of us know what Lapo is? Where you borrow money, right? Lapo, Abi. Yes. So As much as I will read that $10 book, I am going to read it because you need the mindset of a billionaire to be a billionaire. Wherever you are, you need the mindset. Mindset first. James Allen said in the book, As a Man Thinketh, he said, you cannot move within and stand still without. You can't move inside here and stand outside. No. Life has always been inside out. So we live from inside outside. Entrepreneur, you live from inside outside. Professionals, you live from inside outside. Why am I thinking of taking another degree? I'm seeing a picture. So this picture is now informing me to take a degree so that I can be that picture. This, you can decide. People go to do masters, yes or no, and come out. But some people do that masters, and that's bam. That's all they need for the uprising they've been looking for. That one masters, bam, that's all. So I did civil engineering. Let me just move away from there. And I finished in 2020. I went home. I was very broke. Many stories happened in between then. Yeah, I used to be a very depressed person, and I know why I was depressed. Looking back, I was just bothered about life. I just had questions, and there were no answers. So it's like you have questions in 2016. The questions in 2016 graduated to 2017. 2017 questions came. Like piling. I had a lot of questions. Then my father retired in 2020, and they didn't pay him his gratuity. After serving for over 27 years or so, they didn't pay him his gratuity. So now, I'm done with school. I'm the first son. And when you're the first son, people expect you to be responsible. Now, I already made a lot of foolish decisions in university. I think I should mention one. My father bought me a laptop in 100 level, and I was supposed to take a training, but I was so passionate about God, I gave that laptop out to the work of God. I suffered, people of God. I suffered in university. My God. One of these days on Twitter, we posted broke edition. I used Eba, palm oil, and Maggi. I suffered. Looking back, it's foolishness. I was a foolish boy. That laptop they gave me, the next year they were teaching people about WordPress to build websites. People who built websites in university were charging 100,000. Are you saying that I could have been charging 100,000 as at then? Very stupid boy. I did not let my father know till now, till he died. I did not let him know. My mother does not know this story. So please, cut out this story. They don't know. Are you streaming? Shut down the stream. My mother does not know this story. My father does not know this story. I messed up. But like I said, God used to always have mercy on us. We are the ones stressing God, though. How many of us know that? We are the ones stressing God, though. All of us. God is just looking at you. What child do I have? Why are you a coconut head? This same me that gave that laptop to the work of God could have become a better version and be able to support that same work of God conveniently. Conveniently, passion without wisdom. Zeal without wisdom is destruction. Your zeal needs wisdom to guide it. Zeal plus wisdom must work together. As you are zealous, let wisdom be backing you, so that zeal will not push you into a ditch, right? So I suffered a lot. I suffered. I sold pop-off. I sold water. I did baba. I did adire. One day. I spoiled one guy's clothes. The guy almost arranged boys to beat me. I did a lot of things. But that laptop could have just changed my life. That laptop that my father bought. He collected cooperative money to buy the laptop. I gave it out to the work of God. Maybe that's why God had mercy on me. I don't know. So after, now as at that period, right, I already chopped one hot breakfast around 2020, right? Very hot. It was so hot. It was microwaved and served. Hot, it entered. Kai! So, and like life always have it, and I think every young man will always have that experience. There's always that painful experience that shifts you. It's like it sets you. It's a sad reality. Pain should not make you realize what you should have done. But for human beings, it's until pain comes that we realize what we should have done. So God quickly helped me with that breakfast. because she left because I did not have anything. Yes. People of God. Yes. That's why she left me. I couldn't buy one shoe of 7,000 for her. So it looked like I didn't have a future. So they left me. He entered. Then my phone now broke around that period too. So they break my heart and they break my phone. So that's double trouble. Right? So, I was in a very funny season. Then we were doing something in my father's house when we 3 boys, 1 girl. When there's work at home, who does the job? The boys. My father does not need bricklayer. We are the bricklayer. Yes. When they want to plaster the house, we are the one that will carry the cement water, mix everything. We just need the bricklayer that will plaster. That's all. So one of my cousins used to be a bricklayer, and he came home, and he was helping us with the job. So I now told him that, bro, I beg, I need a job. Civil engineering graduate, don't forget, I graduated civil engineering. So I said, bro, I need a job, I beg. Anyway, we job day. So they called him one day from Lekki that they need people who are going to, carry concrete, cement, and block. Civil engineering graduates, don't forget, please. I am a civil engineering graduate, 7 years in university. I did IT twice, 300 level, 400 level. So don't forget, 400 level, a whole session, a whole semester. Just did 400 level first semester. Second semester, bam, dedicated to IT. So don't forget all those sacrifices I've done. But now I am to work as a laborer. So he called me. I said, bro, I did follow you because I needed money and I needed something to just pass away with the heartbreak. Just some work to take away this thing from me. So I went to this site. I was carrying block. They were paying us 2,000 naira per day. All right, thank God I'm strong, so I'm not sure. So I was carrying block, That was the first time I'll be carrying 50 kg cement. Carry it upstairs. You mix water. Guys who didn't go to school will shout on you to help them bring cement. My foolishness. I'm paying for my foolishness. Don't forget, they bought me a laptop. I was very stupid, so I'm paying for it. Right? And so I did that. I was working. So one day, it just dawned on me that we have an engineer on site. I can just walk up to this guy and tell him, this is what I did. Send him my transcript. Civil engineering, let him see it. Come on. I walked up to this guy, this boss. I told him, da. He asked, he confirmed. So he gave me a job. So my salary or my wage moved from 2,000 naira to 40,000 naira. Now, when he moved to 40,000 naira, I'm living on the mainland. Not even mainland, it's Ayobo inside. So 40,000 naira to move from Ayobo to the island. That is like 2 weeks transport, Done. Be broke by 2 weeks. So I decided to be sleeping in the uncompleted building that we are building. So as we build, we have one corner where we sleep, where we put our clothes. So I did that for about 6 months. I was sleeping in an uncompleted building. This engineer did not send me, does not care. Just get the job done and let everything work. I was managing about 8 sites. Chisco, Eleganza, Ocean Bay, Aja. I was managing a lot of sites. I didn't come with the pictures. I was so lean. I was lean. I was leaning on God. Leaning on God. When it's Monday morning like this, my chest will be like I'm sure I had IBP. I did not just check because there's no money to check. You can't even use money to check your BP. You are broke. Which BP do you have? You can't check anything. So I couldn't, I did that job. But while doing that job, I remember I was on site with one of the guys that were managing. We just used to talk about advancing ourselves. That guy too was very, very, we would just be talking, just be dreaming, see that man Jeep. I remember going to a spot. There's a spot called Madiba. And I would sit down and be looking at cars. Who did I not see in Lekki? Rema, Davido, Burna Boy, I saw all of them. Pokoli, Naira, anybody mentioned them, I saw them. I know where they are living. I know Burna Boy's estate. I know Igodalo's estate. I know all their estate. I know where Davido is living in Banana Island. Like, because I'm working there, yeah, I'm seeing all of those things. And it was just inspiring me. I remember one day on the site, I was talking to blocks. You know, when blocks are, I was just talking like this, like, my name is Emmanuel Tope, and I was just dreaming, you know. I've always had that vision, like, you know, I sounded like a mad person, right? But I had a picture in my mind. I knew that I was not going to be stuck there. This is very, very important, people of God. The reason why we will always be stuck is lack of vision. I promise you, I still know some of the guys still working in that site till today. I still know some people doing those jobs that we did till today. And from our conversations then, we knew that this person, you just know, this person is not seeing next year as it go be better. Like, mommy will just work today. Maybe we'll just see one new site today, man. Maybe we'll just do some ground level work. Because ground level work is easier. When you start climbing staircase, it gets harder. But when they just do the foundation, they like it because they will be able to set the block, do a lot of settings. So they can do 200 blocks per day. And they will pay you 35 naira to 50 naira per block. So they'll pay you that, then you will pay your mason that work with you. So I did all of that. But something also that I did in that phase was that there was a book I was reading every day. That book helped me. This is a book by James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. Get that book. Solid book. It helped me out that there was a time I had the opportunity to cheat the guys that I was working with. I remember a lot of people advised me that you are the engineer. If they come to you, you can tell them it's 14 naira per block and take 10 naira. But my boss gave it to me at 15 naira. And I don't think I should cheat these guys. Right? Then the book said something. It said, an oppressor and the oppressed, they have a sink. What do I mean? And the oppressed wants to be oppressed. And the oppressor likes to oppress the oppressed. How do I mean? Then he gave an example. If you are a laborer, if you employ laborers or people, and you don't pay them their wages, life will oppress you because you oppress them. So I didn't want to do those kind of things. Those guys they took advantage of the fact that I was honest, but I didn't care. I paid them, and they paid me my 40,000 naira, and I was fine, right? And it's very important to mention a covenant practice also. I remember when they paid me the first 40,000 naira, I sent it to the house of God. That was my first fruit. I suffered that month. Yes, like the laptop. Yes, I've always had that. I've always been like that. I'm sorry. I believe that you can't do life without backing. So your first goes to God. I don't know what will now happen, right? So after I did that phase, I suffered. But what broke the camel's back was NSAS. Yes, I was there. I was there on the 18th, I was there on the 19th, I was there on the 17th. On the 20th of October, 2020, I was coming from the site. I think I was coming from Ocean Bay or so. And while I was going towards Eleganza, they started shooting. So they shot from the first toll gate to the Eleganza toll gate and shot inside those streets. I remember sleeping with the Megads. You know, mosquito beats me. Then I called my boss the next morning that I'm stuck and I need money. And what did he say? He said he does not care. That was it for me. I knew this is not it. Like I said, there's a painful experience that just gives you the epiphany. It was that one. That so if I had died, what continues? Oh, no. I said, no, I'm not doing this. That was the day I dropped my resignation letter, but I was too broke to drop a resignation letter. Don't forget, people of God. I was still broke. So in my mind, I just started saving that October for the December. Right? So by December, bam, the last day I worked, this man walked me to December 31st. I still did a project December 31st before I went home. January 1st, I sent him my resignation email. I didn't even have money to send a letter. It was a resignation message. I'm sorry, it's not resignation email, resignation message. I told him I won't be coming, I have to go to school. Some things came up about school, but I just was done. Then I came to Ibadan 2021. I just needed to, fresh air, just ventilate my soul. Like, I'm going through a lot already. I just need to ventilate my soul. Right, so I came to Ibadan. Yes, I joined DGC, which is where you can please celebrate the church. Church did a great work. How many minutes do I have so I can wrap up? 10 minutes. 15. Thank you very much. Lord bless you. So 15 minutes, I'll wrap up my story. So I came to Ibadan, and I remember coming to Ibadan with a bag and a black nylon of gari. The bag was for my clothes. The gari was for the food. If I perish, I what? I perish. Yes. You need to have that mindset. You can't go anywhere. Like I told you, my father has a house. My father built a house. He called me while I was on site. What are you doing there? I have a house. It's not like we are suffering. Like I built a house. There's a 3-bedroom. I have a school. My father has a school. You can be a teacher in this school, a principal. Yes or no? God forbid. That is his school, not my school. That's my mindset. That is his house, not my house. I deserve to have my own thing. Like I said, I've always had a reformer mindset. I desire to have my own thing. So I did not answer him. My mother called, complained that what if they kidnap me? What if they killed me? I say, I'm not coming home. I will stay here. Either I perish. And every entrepreneur must have that. Remember the story of Elon Musk. Elon Musk was close to bankruptcy before, what is that? It's not Tesla. It's not SpaceX. Before SpaceX launched. Close to bankruptcy. Everybody needs that tenacity. You need that tenacity. Like, it's either I perish or I perish. Even after you fail, it's better to fail quickly than fail and be failing later. Because when you fail quickly, you iterate your process. What does that mean? When you fail quickly, you know what does not work and what will work. Then you do what works again. And if it does not work, you better your process. Like, it just helps you faster. There's a book by Olakunle Sorinyo, and I need to get that book, An Affair with Failure. That's the name of the book, An Affair with Failure. Meaning you need to have an affair with failure. Let failure see and say, we are not failing today. You will succeed. Don't worry. You've learned me enough. You know about me. You are going to succeed. You need to get to that stage. Don't forget, as an African, your fight is different. Your fight in education is different. That's why when people say school is a scam, I can slap your destiny. I did not try too for my school too. I did not try. Even though I like reading, like I told you, 200 level, I already checked out of university. In my mind, I was done. I was done with civil engineering. Like, whatever will happen. I was done. I wish I did better. Because what coming out with a first class does to you is that now it opens you to opportunities of scholarship. Now, if you didn't come out with a first class, you don't even have an opportunity for scholarship yet. So, why not put yourself on a better pedestal than now say it's a scam and you are now cut short because you didn't put in the work. So, excuse me, I'm not saying you should be a first class compulsorily, but if you can, please, if you're a student, please go for first class. Don't let anybody tell you school is a scam. Literacy might be a scam in Nigeria. Education is not a scam. Education is not a scam. Please, education is not a scam. Right? And business owner too, please educate yourself. Most of Nigerian businesses, African businesses, dies after the owners die. Why? We don't have the leadership capacity to transfer what we have to another person. Who is the CEO of Microsoft? Who is the CEO of Microsoft? Can anybody answer me? Who? It's not Bill Gates, so. Bill Gates is not a CEO. He's part of the board. He has left the CEO stuff to them. That's how the white people think. He's not the CEO. He's maybe chairman. He's part of the boards that control Microsoft. He has moved from CEO. Most Africans don't move from CEO. We are solopreneurs, not entrepreneurs most times. It's all about us, all around us, and when we die, the business dies. Because first, we are afraid to delegate. Second, we believe that when we delegate, the person will steal the idea. Let the person steal the idea and move on. The person cannot do it the way you do it. Like, there's a unique thing you have. The person can't do it that way. In fact, I believe in replicating myself. Why should everything die with me? You can't do everything. Amazon started as an ebook service. Amazon is doing Amazon Prime movie. Amazon is doing robots. Amazon is doing spaceship travel. Is it Jeff Bezos that did everything? No. Jeff Bezos just had the whatever. People joined him and created those channels. Some people left. People will leave you. It's just part of life. As a professional, no matter business you are doing, you will leave companies. Companies will leave you. Companies have left me. I've left companies. This is not the first time that company will leave you. And they will train you, and some people will leave, and they are happy to release you after training you. But they will tell you, transfer your skill to the next person, onboard the next person, and you can move on. No problem. Soldier go, soldier come, barrack what? Barrack remains. That's how life is, right? So, I remember coming to Ibadan. As at then, I've tried a lot of things. Like I told you, sold pop-off, da. I've done Forex. My money went to the forest. I've done crypto. I cried. I did copywriting. I copied people. What did I do again? I did ghostwriting. They ghosted my money. What did I not do? I was trying and pushing myself. Don't forget, I was foolish in my 100 level. They gave me a laptop and I messed up. That's it, though. That one thing. I will tell you how that one thing then changed. So, one of those days, in this building, Dr. Kolade was talking about, tech skills, da. And I walked up to him after the program. And I told him that I wanted to learn a tech skill, da. And he asked me that, do I have a laptop? And I said no. And he bought me a laptop that I'm going to pay back. That laptop was the beginning of my career, was a shift. With that laptop, I learned data analysis, started posting stuff on LinkedIn. Then 2022 came. Don't forget, I finished 2020. I didn't go for service. Why? There's no money. My father just retired. I cannot be bothering that man about clearance. Clearance is about 60 to 70,000. Then after clearance, you pay for NYSC. You know clearance in university now, you will drop money for this, drop money. You just be dropping money, right? And then after you drop all the money all around again, you will now still pay for NYSC form. Then wherever they post you will now look for money to go to that place. Like, I didn't just want to stress that man. So I faced my life, came to Ibadan, I started doing stuff. So I was here at Ibadan 2021, I started that job. I was teaching. They were paying me about 40,000 per month. I don't know what 40,000 did to me. So I was using it as my clearance. Every month, I will send money to school to clear myself and manage the remaining money. That's how I was able to pay for my clearance, right? So I learned financial intelligence from lack. It is an advantage and both a trap. It's an advantage because now you are not a good steward of money. It's a trap because it shuts your mind. So your mind is shut only to salary. And you can't dream beyond it. So it's both an advantage and a disadvantage. But we've learned how to make it an advantage, right? So after doing all that, after going through, getting that laptop changed everything for me. That laptop was not even as strong as my first laptop, but I didn't care again. I told myself I was going to, steward this very well. So 2022, after going for NYSC, somebody gave me like 50,000. I did a job. Somebody gave me 50,000. That was why I was able to pay for my NYSC. I remember my mother calling me January 1st. That please go for NYSC this year. Your sister has now graduated. So both of us are now going for NYSC. Right? I don't say anything. It's not a problem to. In fact, I don't mind. Go before me. Like, let me sort my life. When my life is sorted, we'll meet in front. I think I'm not that kind of person that cares about who is above me or who is below me. The Lord bless everybody. Everybody will be where you need to be. Just grow. All this classism that we are doing is poverty. Poverty makes you a classist. Yes. Have you seen wealthy people? Short knicker, like simple guys. It's poor people that is hard people. We want to prove a point that we don't have. So I learned it very early. Classism is a mindset of the poor person. A wealthy person is really not a classist because he sees beyond what he's looking at. That's why they do Shark Tank. You are looking at somebody who is going to have the next $1 billion company coming to you and saying, I'm soliciting for $350,000 for 2% of my equity of my company. That person is the next billionaire. They see it and that's why they want to invest in it. Well, poor people will talk you down, right? So, yes, I had a lot of people who talked me down around that phase in 2021. So 2022, it just came to my mind that I should pay attention to blockchain, right? I work in the blockchain space. So it just came to my mind that pay attention to blockchain. So I told one of my friends who was a tech guy that whenever you're going for events, please call me, let's go to the event. So there was one event that was happening. This event was also a game changer. Please go for conferences. Go for conferences, I beg you in the name of God. I'm telling myself inclusive because this year I didn't go to a lot of conferences because I'm in a different phase in my life. So I have to shut down to do some stuff. But go for conferences. Last year I went for conferences. Every Saturday I'm in Lagos. 5 minutes more, 4 minutes. Every Saturday I'm in Lagos. I'm in Lagos doing conferences, talking to people, meeting people, right? So I went for this conference. I didn't have money to go for the conference. It was a 3 days conference. I didn't have money to go. I didn't have where to sleep. I remember calling somebody around that, please borrow me 5,000. When I come back, I will give you the 5,000. I don't know where the money will come from. I remember calling somebody in Lagos that, please, I will sleep in your parlor, if possible. I just need somewhere to stay for 3 days. And, the person said, I have somebody in my house, but can you manage? I said, no problem, I'll manage. Now, I went for this event. They said they are doing a competition, writing competition. I jump into the writing competition. I don't even know what I'm about to write, but I don't care. We will learn. That's why studying should be your ally. You don't have to know it all. Studying must be your ally, must be your friend. Studying must be your friend. So I said, we will learn. We will learn. Don't worry. I won the competition, the 3rd position. They gave me $100. I won. I learned and I collected my money. But something happened. When we got there, my friend is a technical person, so he writes codes and all of that. I've not even learned about code then. So there was an hackathon. An hackathon is a competition where you compete for money, build a product. So they were doing the hackathon. I now joined the group. I say, don't worry, me, I will be the writer. I'll help you write about the products and every other thing. So I joined the group. We wrote the product. We built the hackathon. On the day of submission, we submitted. Lo and behold, 3rd position, they called one group. 2nd position, they called one group. 1st position, they called our group. That's how we won $1,000. I say, yay. If I didn't come for this event, I just came back from NYSC camp. How will I go back? I did not know how I was going to go back. We won because of me. It's not because of what we built. I don't care what they want to say. It's me that made us win. We won because of me. That was, I think we were like 5, so it was like $200. So I collect my own money. That was the money I used to go for NYSC. The money I used to travel to Bayelsa. They posted me from Ibadan to Bayelsa. That's about 10 to 12 hours trip going by road. I think it was about 25,000 or so. So that was how I was able to buy the clothes I will use in my new PPA power bank. Now, this is very important to say. Whatever breakthrough that comes to your life is a stepping stone to the next one. You can either squander it or use it to go up. When I made that money, I quickly changed my laptop battery. My laptop battery was not strong. I changed it. I bought a router. I bought a power bank. A router will help me with network. Power bank will help me with holding electricity, sustaining electricity, and a new charger with a new battery. That means I can have about like 2 hours, 3 hours to do other stuff. So when I got to my PPA, it was a military stuff. It was a command science school in Bayelsa. So immediately, I used my relationship skill, learn to relate with people. If you don't know how to relate with people, read this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It changed my life. I read it in 2016, 2017. Changed my life. You can also add this one to it. Give me 3 more minutes. You can also add this book to it. The name of the book is The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. Solid book. Malcolm Gladwell is a New York news person. The guy does a lot of research. Read that book where he talked about 3 types of people, the connector, the mavens, and solid book. You should read it. So he helped me. So I quickly related with the guys there. There's somebody they call chief whatever, chief clerk, yes. So I related to the chief clerk. The chief clerk, they had a solar building, a solar whatever, for the main hall. So they don't allow teachers to the main hall unless you are their paddy. So I became their paddy. So this guy allows me to be in the main hall. So I have about like 8 hours to study every day. So I started studying about blockchain. Studying. Don't forget, when I went for that conference, I told you that I won a writing competition. My team won. When I came back, I did another video about the event, posted it on YouTube, sent it to them. The guys sent it to their people in the US. The people in the USA should employ me. That's how I got a community manager job. So I was working community manager. They were paying me 30,000 naira. That is barest minimum. I would never do it in my life. Working, but it was my first job. Come on. So I was getting 30,000 naira from here. I was getting 35,000 naira from 33 from NYSC. Then I was working with somebody in the US who was paying me 70,000 to build website and do everything. As I then had learned WordPress and other stuff that I should have learned since 100 level. Remember that story? So I just learned it in 2021. God had mercy on me. He opened another chapter for me to be able to do those things I should have done. So now I'm earning about 133,000. From 0 to 133,000. What do? You steward it well, right? So obviously, I'm not a spender like that. So I started learning and building that stuff. But another thing I would say is that show up daily. So one day an idea came to me that I should do Twitter Spaces with professionals. I was meeting a lot of people. So I started Twitter Spaces. I joined a training program. I became their best student. They put me on another program. I started doing all those things. Now, one of those days, the boss of the training program observed me. She saw some of my stuff. Then she reached out to me and said, would you like to work with us? And I said, yes, I would like to work with you guys. I was in NYSC, November. She reached out to me. I got a job of over $1,000. In October, NYSC is not done. I'm going to finish NYSC in February 2023. So I got that job, and I was still maintaining the other 70,000, 30,000, 33,000. This over it. That was 4 jobs at a time, right? Then I dropped the one of 30,000, which is the community manager. I dropped their job because their job required me traveling. So I traveled to Abuja from Bayelsa. I traveled to Akwa Ibom from Bayelsa. I traveled to Port Harcourt from Bayelsa by road sometimes. Once, maybe by air. But mostly by road, right? I was risking my life. But I didn't care. If I die, I will not die because He has given His angel charge over us. Right? So I did all those phases. Show up, please. Whatever you do, show up. Even in the day that it looks like nothing is happening. Somebody is observing you. Somebody is observing you. Keep showing up. So I kept showing up. Then I got that job. Bam! The next thing she was telling me is that we have a conference in Europe. Would you like to come? I say, madam, I'm coming. Do you have international, that passport? I did not have. Please, get ready. If you believe that you're going to travel out of the country, then get a passport. Thank God that God had mercy on me. Get a passport. So, I told her that, she said, I would like you to come. I'm coming. I will soon be done. She said, I would like you to come. I would like you to come. Then, Oyibo people now. She sent me 200,000. That's about like $120 or that. She just sent me, get your passport. I went to Abuja. I did express. Bah! In 2 days, they gave me my passport. She said, go to Lagos, go to the consulate, go and apply. I applied consulate. They gave me rejection. As they gave me rejection, don't give up. I went to the LinkedIn. I looked for consulates of so country. I looked for the LinkedIn of the man. Sent it to my boss. She messaged him. They talk. The guy said, it's so unprofessional to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Nothing concern me. The guy said, tell him to come to the consulate on Friday. Bam, I went there. They gave me my visa. That's how I became the guy who was going to NYSC on shore. I finished NYSC February 3rd. February 13th, I was on the plane, traveling outside of the country for a conference. And if you check out those stories, it's a story of tenacity, showing up, continuity. Just keep going. And that job was the beginning because most of the friends I met outside the country, they are still my friends till now. And what experiences does to you, don't forget, the reason why they are giving us visa ban is that when you experience something, you can't go back again. That's what happens. The best thing is that you don't experience it all. When I experienced sitting in a plane, and I experienced being among white people, talking to them and they saying that, wow, you are so knowledgeable. It shifted me here forever. I can go to any interview, I can talk to anybody. It did something to me that they are not as superior as we think they are superior. It is superior knowledge, not superior skin. Till now, it's still marking me. I don't care who you are. As long as I'm ready, I will stand in front of you and say what we need to say. We are talking about a proposal. We are talking about an idea. Most of them I've met in the US keep saying to us that, how do you know this in Africa? That is to tell you that even as African entrepreneur, please start telling the right stories, myself inclusive. We are not telling our stories. They are telling our stories. Very wrong. How dare you say that because I'm in Nigeria, I don't know these things? In a global village with internet. Very rude to say. Pisses me off. Very, very rude to say. All the jobs that rejected me, I promised them. I said I'm going to go back again and do the work. That's why I'm taking another degree. I will get another skill. I'm coming back and I will still say no to you. After you give me the job, I'll tell you, no, I'm not doing the job. That is the goal. Every African must fight to be the superior version of yourself. They are not superior to us than skin. In intelligence. Intelligence is anybody can be intelligent. Anybody can be intelligent. You're a professional in the field, in the tech space. Be the best version. Let it now be obvious to the world that they are racist. Not that they are saying they can't do the job because they are African. So just to end with it, right, that changed my career, and it has, from there, I've gotten a lot of jobs, I've gotten a lot of referral jobs, gotten a lot of work with a lot of organizations. I've worked with organizations in UAE, the US, in Ethiopia, in South Africa. I've worked with them, and I am not afraid. So if there's anything also that I should work on, I'm also speaking to myself, is try and experience, go for conferences. If the conference is in Ghana and you can go by road, go. Meet people. It tears the limitation in your heart. I met a 21 years old controlling over $200 million in Barcelona. Very tall guy, huge, 21 years old. I said, what? He's working for that company. One of my friends is in Nigeria now, Santiago. I met him there. He's a devil. Anytime we meet, he's like, bro, come on. Like the time we met, he was a volunteer. He was still a dishwasher. I was still washing dish. Now, he's traveling all around the world because he puts in the work. So, entrepreneurs, professionals, put in the work. Don't forget, our fight is different as African. Let's fight the good fight of faith. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have you been inspired so far? Have we been inspired so far? Please, let's give another round of applause for all